Good afternoon. My name is Samantha Myles, and I'm a current high school student in Stockton Unified School District and a youth organizer at Fathers and Families from San Joaquin. I'm here today to tell you a story. This story is about my life and how AB 2382 could have helped me when I was struggling with my attendance in school. I grew up not like many of my peers around me. I went to an elementary school where I was one of the few low-income students. My parents split up before I was in the first grade. For the next 5 years, the only relationship I had with my dad was through a glass window in our local jail in San Joaquin County. Because of this, while growing up, money and housing was always an issue. My mother was a single parent trying to provide for her kids. She was working 3 jobs for about 4 years. I saw my mother on an average of twice a week for this period of time. My education has always been important to my mom, so not being able to take me to school on a regular basis was heartbreaking for her. When I would wake up in the morning, she had already left to work. She was not there to wake me up in the morning, cook breakfast for me, or even take me to school like most children had the privilege of. To make matters worse, our school district did not provide school buses, so I had to figure out another form of transportation to get from and to school. My truancy started in 5th grade. At this time, my family and I did not have stable housing. I was living at my grandma's house at the time, and me and my family decided to move to another neighborhood for a period of 2 months. After these 2 months, I moved into my other grandma's for a period of 1 month. I then moved to a friend's house and lived there for 4 months. How can you expect a child with this kind of instability to have perfect attendance? It's not easy, and you don't know what it's like until you're placed in that position. Eventually, when I moved back with my mom, I moved around so much because of financial hardship. And at home, I kept looking for security and support everywhere. I wasn't getting support from my family, teachers, or my school. I continued to be truant throughout high school. Freshman year, I was called to appear in court to address my truancy. While in court, they charged me with a fine rather than offer support for my family and myself. No one cared to ask me why I was missing so much school. They didn't see me or the struggles I faced every day. All they looked at was my paperwork, even though I was standing right in front of them. This fine just added on to the hardship my family was already going through. You see, on August 28th, during my freshman year, my brother passed away. What is a teenager supposed to do with a tragedy like this happens? Attend school every day with a smile on their face? My teachers did not bother to ask why I wasn't motivated to work. They would simply send me out the classroom and say, "I don't know why you bother coming to school." At this time, I felt like I had nobody left. All motivation I had was gone. I thought to myself, why should I attend school when I have bigger problems to deal with? Let's not forget that even during this time, I still had unstable living situation, and I continued to move around looking for security and support that I didn't get from my families and school. And still my school district did not provide school buses, which made it harder to get to and from school. I strongly suggest you to support AB 2382 to provide the support for families struggling the way I did. Being poor should not be treated like a crime, and poor children should not be treated like criminals, like I was. I've heard that the more you know, the more you owe. Now that you guys know my story, we owe it to the other students that are struggling in the same poor conditions to be afforded the opportunity to break the cycle of poverty that affects generations of families. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming to testify today. Other witnesses in support?
Chairman Stone, members of the committee, Jessica Bartholow with the Western Center on Law and Poverty. Very proud to sponsor and support this bill. Ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Other witnesses in support?
Yes, Aaron Court with the California chapter of the National Association of Social Workers, and we definitely support this bill.
Thank you.
Kevin Eslenio, Coalition California Welfare Rights Organization, strong support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jesse Esparza with Fathers and Families of San Joaquin, strong support. Thank you.
Alejandra Gutierrez with Fathers and Families of San Joaquin, and we strongly support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Seeing none, any witnesses in opposition? All right, seeing none, back to the committee. We do have a motion and a second. Any questions from committee members, comments? No? Ms. Garcia.
Thank you. I want to thank the author for bringing this forward, and wanted to thank the witness for testifying and for her strong words, in particular when she said that poor children should not be treated like criminals, and something we need to be reminded of more often here. So thank you.
Thank you. The recommendation is due pass as amended to appropriations. and you did a much better job than he did. But I'll allow Mr. Bradford, as the Assembly member, to close.
And I would agree. That's why I'm going to let Samantha's testimony serve as my close. I respectfully ask for aye vote.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Stone.
Aye.
Stone, aye. Mainstein. Mamiano. Calderon. Aye. Calderon, aye. Garcia. Aye. Garcia, aye. Grove. Hall. It's got 3 votes. Needs one more.
Still needs one more, and we will collect that group and get you that vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha.